Energy Forecast for October 2015. Welcoming your multidimensionality. Before we begin, do a few deep breaths. Lee inhales and exhales deeply. Transformation at the speed of light. This is where we are now, as individuals and as a collective. One of the ongoing themes for you this month will realize how many things you are going through in a day, a week, a month. This may lead many of you, particularly after the intensity of this past summer, and October, that will require you to have a little more space, a little more calm. You may want to sleep and rest more than you usually do. Some of you may find that your physical exercise routines very intense need to decrease slightly, so you can really learn to balance all that is pulsating through your system. The electric energy field of the planet is continually changing and advancing, which means that the sensitivity is higher. Those who are going through a profound awakening are noticing sudden sensitivity changes. You suddenly becomes much more open. Feel and perceive more things. More and more, this is happening to everyone around the world. Now, these changes do not always look great, which you would call spiritual. But then I would say that spirituality and spiritual people do not always seem very spiritualized too, especially if we try to classify them as very bright, always peaceful or loving, because we are human beings. And as humanity, we are all evolving and going through our stuff in our growth here on Earth. Recalling calm and peace of mind. With these changes, the lightning speed that are raising the sensitivity, some of you will realize they need to get much more quiet apart from needing more rest and more sleep, because the volume level of all around you is much higher. Some of you will realize that just need to keep things calm as they adjust to the speed with which everything is happening. Setting limits firm and loving. For persons that I just mentioned, those that do not seem very spiritualized, remember that there is an intensity of conflict and energy release happening to many people on the planet. If you are becoming more sensitive, what is happening is that you are much more pure energy pulsing through your system, and this pure energy is affecting the levels of the mind and emotions. This is why people are expressing a little more in the daily life of humanity. They are more easily caused, more easily irritated, more emotional. Thus, problems may arise with certain people in your life where you need to place firm and loving limits. No need for you to accept repetitive and abusive behavior of another person. The BE power in your heart. In general, if you can, try to remember to stay in your heart as much as possible. It will be easier not to get so wrapped up in some of the dramas and conflicts to which you are invited. And if you cannot be in your heart now, know that you are not doing wrong. It is a full practice for all of us, because that's how we were trained. We were trained to be mentally focused. And those who came to be very sensitive and found their way through their healing journey, you are now in a space where you are prepared to practice the most vulnerable, open communication and honest. These are wonderful times and great support for all of this. Freedom set. But do not be surprised if something from your past and you find yourself working with someone in the present. This is a fast and multidimensional moment. It is a time to discover that when we agreed to open up a multidimensional way and when we are being driven by the universal energy and life force to do it, it will be chaotic at times. So one of the biggest things that you can remember is that you do not have to hit. If some of you out there believe they have to hit in your yoga practice, have to settle with her mother-in-law with this person on the road who needs your help, try to let go of this concept right. It's all perspective. You do not need to be thinking about what is right and wrong when it is able to live in your heart more often. Because the heart always wants to give, which can be received, and where the human body has the energy to support this donation. This is why those who give themselves to, could get a little scared now. You may not be willing to give to everyone, all the time. But this is fantastic. This is exactly where you need to be for a period of time. But do not worry. This too will pass. You can return to donate a lot, as much as you want in the future, but will be making with a clearer sense of what needs to sustain itself when donating, and with discernment to choose carefully where you can donate your energy and VE it multiplied. Multidimensionality, AMA, multiplicity and speed. When you open yourself to be your multidimensional self, returns to a linear way of being that can be very boring. it might seem a bit tedious to try to have a more linear conversation again, or, especially, have a more linear life you're focusing on one thing at a time. Thus, those who are opening multidimensional and perhaps examining certain aspects of themselves, for example, give themselves excessively, recognize that our wounds and strengths are coming in equal measure at the time. So you could be learning how to say, "Wow, I can really give with a high capacity, and will value and respect this." At the same time, I recognize that because I do not always valued my ability to give, or even seen it myself, I am now dealing with the wound of excess donation. She is performing this friend who is making fun of me because I am giving you as much as you used to. And this hurts me and it hurts me. He says, "Hey, why are not you doing what you used to? You're not a very nice person." If, when some of these types of words reach you, you feel something in your body like a blow to his body, try not to do it with someone else. Instead, ask yourself, at what point sensitive it affect me? Ask and observe their own internal reactions will bring it again very quickly to this. This is because these reactions are very last. They can be in this life, or they may be injured generations that have been passed down through your family line. But in any case, all this is leaving and moving away now, at a fast speed. The linear mind used to be able to control everything. She used to have a lot of time to reflect, digest and continue. 3 months ago I had this breakthrough and I'm still going through it. Now, it's like 3 hours had passed and you have forgotten about it, because you do not have time to keep up with everything. And that's good. The more you get into your heart, the less need to keep track of everything. New energy and extraordinary arrive by you. In closing, remember, practice being in the heart. There is no right or wrong in disagreements and human conflicts, there are prospects. You can find past issues of transformation in relationships with other people, which can be critical to help you change things from the past, or change how you feel about yourself right now. Some may help you reflect new parts that previously you were not able to bring or celebrate. Along with this, there will be these extraordinary new energies coming through you and for which you did not have a script, because they are new. You are the child who is learning to walk again. And when this happens is a bit chaotic, it's a little confusing at times, and this is good, you are new. Dependence of release of old ideas. This is a great opportunity for those who have an idea that has to be a certain way all the time, to release it. Because if you are enslaved to this idea, it helps keep others tied to limiting ideas of who they are. In other words, they are tied to who they are, because you will not give up who you are, even when you are feeling the urge to make changes in the way you communicate, how to present yourself and in what you do. A cure perspective. So, I can have it confused a little, because at the beginning I said it to become slower and quieter. But I'm also talking about acceleration and speed and all the details that are happening in and around you. What I am trying to address are the multidimensional layers of everything that is affecting and involving right now. So, if you feel you are getting a little anxious, I realize, oh, I'm not getting anxious. This is just how quickly everything is happening. This is how I'm feeling everything. This is how much I'm sensitive. Relief in an instant. Remember that you can always close the door. You can close the door to find a room or space in your environment where you are you just for a moment. And if you are struggling with this because they do not get these kinds of opportunities, here's a way to close the door. Lead deep breath and close your eyes. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. As I told people at a seminar a few years ago, this was one of my tricks when I was still learning my limits and needed some tricks to help me when I was among people and I felt overstimulated. I would go to the bathroom or toilet, as we like to call it in England, and it was not that I needed the facilities. It was more than that moment I had to get away from the group and go alone to a place where it should be alone. And would a self-assessment. How am I now? Where am I? Oh, I'm overstimulated. Or, it seems I'm with hypoglycemia. Or, this angry man is beginning to bore me, and I think I need to just give him pause for a few moments. Ask these regular assessments forever. If you are on the train, in a meeting at work, with friends and family, or anywhere else, just take a breath and do a self-analysis. How's my inner world? Oh, it's chaotic. Okay, so I should not have more stimulation at the time. I should calm down. Ironically, we are in a world that holds more external stimuli than ever. But, I think this is perfect, because these external stimuli show us how the energy has changed everything here on this planet. And you can also take us back to the quiet and beauty of nature. Under the magic tree. I'm filming this month under this amazing tree, here in Street Helena. A powerful land in California. The reason I wanted us to be here together, it is because this tree really enabled me when I saw her first. The old energy and magic that keeps it seems to me a lot like what's on our planet right now, the ancient and magical power. I realize that does not always seem that way when you see things that do not like about the modern world. But if you can, try to remember the old energy and magic with which we are all connected, the energy that is now being renewed in all of us and finding new circuits in our bodies. The way to remember it if it is caught and stressed out is to close your eyes and just for a moment, breathing deeply. Use deep breathing as a small tool this month and see how it works for you. Until next month to all and with great love. They take care of themselves very well in these times. Lightning.